Hello again! I hope that you guys are doing well and hopefully you enjoyed the first Etude challenge. So today is Etude challenge number 2. And in this one, we are going to do Schroeder number 31. So this one is written in the key of F major, and as you notice in the key signature, there is just one flat, which is the B flat. So let's play through the 2-octave F major scale. Remember, there is one flat in it, which is the B flat. Okay, so if you weren't playing with me when I was playing this scale, make sure you rewind this video just a little bit so that you can play the scale along with me. I'm purposely playing it a little bit slow so that you can play along with me and hear the tune, as well as notice where I'm shifting for the fingering. I'm trying to find the high E with the 1 and then 2 for the F natural. So the time signature in this etude is 6/8, which means there are 6 eighth notes in one measure. So it kind of has that swing feel to it. So remember, it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You really want that swing feel when you are playing this etude. The final tempo of this says allegro moderato. So that means it's actually fairly fast, probably maybe not as fast as an allegro, but it definitely has some speed to it. So in the beginning, obviously you want to learn it a little bit slower and play it nice and steady, but definitely have a goal of trying to speed it up and playing it at a faster tempo. All of these notes have dots on them, so make sure that you're keeping all of the notes nice and crisp and short. You don't want anything too long of a bow stroke because it kind of takes away from the clarity of the note. Plus, it's good practice to see how compact you can make your bow when you are trying to play these short, fast notes. All right, on line 2, it has the high E again. So remember, you're sliding your thumb into the curve of the neck and you're putting your first finger down and you're trying to look for that high E. Line 4, the third measure, it goes into half position because it has a 1 and then a 1 fingering. So you're in first position and then you're just reaching back for the half position note. In this case, you could kind of do a little bit of movement if you wanted to, but you know, it kind of varies depending on how fast you choose to go. But remember, right after you get into that half position, you have to go immediately back into regular first position on the next measure. So plan accordingly of how you're going to play that fingering and get ready for the next measure. Line 6 in the last measure has a B flat, and remember, for this B flat, you really want to just extend backwards. So you're pointing your first finger backwards for that B flat. You really don't want to move your hand for this one because the G that comes right after that is going to be really tough to get in tune. Instead, you want to just feel that really, really big stretch from the B flat to the G natural. 3 lines from the bottom on the 4th measure, it's kind of similar to what we went over where there is a 1 and then a 1 fingering. So you're going from first position to half position, and then you're going to have to go right back into first position afterwards. So be aware of that. Okay, so on the last line in the 3rd measure, that is a typo. So if you look on it, the 3rd note of the measure, there's a 2 written over that A, but it won't be a 2, it'll be a 1. So make sure you cross out that 2 and you put a 1 in there so that you can play the A with your 1. Basically, the measure before, you're playing that same A with a 1, and then you're going up and you're returning right back to that same A. So go ahead and use the same fingering for that. If you're wondering how to play that A in position, remember, you have already found the high E by sliding your thumb in the curve and then having your first finger a little bit like below your thumb. And remember, A is actually directly across from that E. So if you're on the high E on the A string, just move your finger 1 string over and that should be the A. And how you can check that is just check it with your open A. They should sound the same. So I will play through this exercise slowly at dotted quarter note equals 50. So that means for every tick of the metronome, you're going to hear 3 notes, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's good for you to know that when you set your metronome, if you set it to the same speed as me, which is 50 equals the dotted quarter, for every tick, you should be playing 3 notes. But here is the challenge. Can you guys get it up to maybe 100 equals a dotted quarter note? Now that is pretty challenging. That means you have to be pretty familiar with these notes. Like you shouldn't be figuring out these notes and trying to go fast at the same time. So remember, take the time to learn these notes at a slower speed and then challenge yourself and see if you can get up to that faster speed. Because you will find that the more you challenge yourself to find things with speed, you're going to build up some confidence about finding these notes and learning exactly what your hand needs to do in order to reach all of these notes in tune. Good luck on this challenge. See you guys next time.